The internet in its current form contains a truly countless number of things, the origin of which raises quite big questions. Who uploaded them to the public access and why? Today I'll show and tell you about 5 photos and images that you definitely wouldn't want to stumble upon late at night. It's hard to find someone who has spent a long time on the internet and has never seen this photo or heard the urban legend about the Rake, who is depicted on it. People say that the first mentions of this humanoid creature date back to 2005 and lead to the anonymous website 4chan in a thread titled "Hey B, let's make a new monster." Personally, I couldn't find this specific thread, but you get the idea from numerous descriptions and the preserved title. People were just messing around, trying to come up with some interesting and mysterious creatures, and one of them turned out to be truly successful. The new monster was described as a tall humanoid with pale skin and 3 green eyes, one of which is located right on its forehead and the other 2 on the sides of its head. As you can see, this description is still quite far from the Rake we all know today. As time went on, the legend of this creature quickly changed and became more and more well-known, gradually moving far beyond anonymous image boards into the broader internet. Today we won't dwell on all the details of its story because we are interested in the answer to one main question: what is this photo and where did it come from? To be honest, everything is not as simple as it is often told. It's believed that it was originally published on a website for hunters, which can be guessed by the logo in the lower left corner of the photo. Allegedly, someone set traps in the forest and in the morning found a recording of an unknown creature. And this website does exist, but I find it very hard to imagine how anything can be posted here. It's mostly for buying hunting gear, like those special cameras, one of which may have caught our Rake. It is widely believed that this photo is part of the advertising campaign for Resistance 3, released in 2011 exclusively for PlayStation. In this game, we must confront aggressive aliens from outer space, known as Chimera. And personally, I see almost no resemblance between them and the Rake, primarily because of the head structure and appearance. Moreover, the creature in the photo looks more like a wild animal accidentally caught on a hunter's camera, while the Chimera are intelligent beings who definitely wouldn't wander through the forest without clothes. In short, there is practically no chance that this is actually an advertising campaign for the game. No one will guess that this is the Chimera from Resistance 3 or learn anything about this game from such a photo. At best, someone will think that this is just an unknown animal, and at worst that it's Spider-Man, as they did in the Daily Mail. Reverse image search also gives nothing, so the original photo of the Rake is most likely deleted, wherever it was originally published. In any case, I believe this is indeed a creative advertising campaign, not for Resistance 3, but rather for an online store selling cameras for hunters. This makes a lot of sense, and I find it hard to even imagine why people suddenly saw an advertisement for a game about aliens here. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and now we move on to our next disturbing image. And this photo is truly unique, as we know almost nothing about what's happening here or who is depicted in it. There is only one copy of it, which shows 4, to put it mildly, strange Teletubbies from the children's TV series of the same name, surrounding a boy sitting on a bed in an unusual room with blue walls. Originally, the photo was published on Reddit in a post titled, "As if being sick as a kid wasn't scary enough." And although a year ago it was freely available for viewing, now this post has been permanently deleted, so I can only show you a few screenshots from it and a fake created by me as a reference. Its author left almost no comments about this photo, except that it was taken in the children's ward of some hospital in England. It seems that he himself is not aware of all the details, so we'll have to do our own detective work as usual. Let's take another look at this image, but this time more carefully. Since the photo was taken in a hospital, it's easy to assume that the actors dressed as Teletubbies were just trying to cheer up the children, including the one sitting on the bed in the center of the image. The quality of the photo and the fact that the Teletubbies were popular in the late 90s and early 2000s may suggest that it was probably taken somewhere around that time. As you can see, to some extent, there is no mystery at all here. On the other hand, we really know nothing about this image except for the rather meager details that we could easily notice ourselves. Personally, I am most interested in who this boy on the bed is and how much time he spent in the room with blue walls. I hope that he is okay now. This could also confirm the fact that the original post with the photo of the cursed Teletubbies was deleted by its author. Perhaps the boy depicted here stumbled upon it on the internet many years later and asked to remove it, not wanting to attract even more attention to himself. Be that as it may, I ask you to subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content and want to see more. And now we move on to our next disturbing image. People think that the photo of this creepy smiling dog appeared on the internet no earlier than 2008 as a part of an urban legend about a demon seeking to get into as many people's minds as it could. In short, at any moment you might receive a seemingly ordinary email with a single attachment, an image of Smile Dog. If you open the email and look at the photo, then the very next night you'll dream of this possessed dog. Its demands are simple and always the same: forward the email to someone else. If you refuse, then Smile Dog transforms into its much uglier form, turning your dreams into a living nightmare. And while this is quite an interesting story, our primary focus today is on the origin of the photo. Or rather, photos, as there are actually 3 images associated with this legend. The black one is considered the most normal, just a dog, probably a Siberian husky with a human hand reaching out to it. To be honest, nothing is known about this image at all. Perhaps someone else will be lucky enough to find its source, but so far no one has. So let's just remember the presence of the mysterious hand and move on to the second image. The grayer photo shows a dog, most likely the star of some toothpaste commercial. The human mouth and the unsettling gaze directed straight at the viewer can make anyone feel uncomfortable, especially if you received this image in an email from an unknown sender. Among other details, someone's hand and a window in the background stand out again. As with the previous photo, literally nothing is known about this image either, so we can only guess about its origin. The red photo is definitely the most famous. People say this is the demonic form of the dog that haunts the dreams of those who refuse to forward the email. In the background, we can once again see a window with curtains and a human hand, but personally, I can't say if it's the same setting or a different one. And while almost nothing is known about the previous 2 photos, we have much more information about this one. And it turned out that Smile Dog is a collage. The author of a Reddit thread titled, "I think I found one of the images used to make Smile Dog," found a photo of a Siberian husky whose eyes were used for the demonic dog in the urban legend. Soon, the same window with curtains from the background was also found. Most likely, the second image was made in the same way. In short, this legend can officially be called a fake. On the other hand, not everything about it was completely fabricated. I can easily believe that for some time, there were actually real emails containing photos of Smile Dog. Would you like to receive one? As for the origin of these images, most people lean towards the idea that they appeared in one of the threads on 4chan. Others believe that they might have been created by a man named Michael Lutz, who detailed the story of creating this legend on his Twitter page. It's up to you to decide what to believe, but personally, I lean towards the 4chan version. In any case, I would be very grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel and leave a comment, but now let's move on to our next disturbing photo.
Beneath the skin, we are already one. Was it not your sin trapped the unicorn? Even now, the evil seed of what you have done germinates within you.
It's quite difficult to say where and how this image first appeared. It probably blew up after the publication of a YouTube video titled The Almighty Loaf, part of which you just watched. It's really funny, and there is nothing surprising in the fact that more than 6.5 million people feel exactly the same way. Originally, the Talking Bread was an episodic character from a children's Christian TV show called The Donut Man, a small clip of which we can also watch.
If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is passed away. Behold, the new is come. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Whew, I must say it's a lot cooler out here than it was in there.
I bet it is. What's your name?
I don't know. Frankly, it's the yeast of my...
I think there's practically nothing to explain here. It's funny how the Almighty Loaf ended up being the exact opposite of what he was supposed to be. On the other hand, if it weren't for this, he would probably have been forgotten like many other characters from the past. You can find a YouTube channel of a person who participated in creating the Talking Bread for an episode of the TV show. And that was more than 20 years ago. In one of his videos, he not only explains and shows how it works, but also offers viewers to order their own Talking Bread from a small, limited edition. I think that for fans of the Almighty Loaf, this is quite good news. In short, this story turned out to be really small, very simple, and relatively kind, especially compared to what we've already seen. And that's pretty cool. What else can be said here? This far-from-famous photo depicts a humanoid creature with glazed blue eyes and an anxious gaze that cautiously peeks out from under some kind of partition. And if I saw something like this in real life, I would definitely experience far from pleasant feelings. Nevertheless, let's try to figure out what this image is. I think that the popularity of this photo was brought by a Reddit post titled Cursed Watcher, which had no explanations at all about what was depicted in it. Besides numerous comments from people who were really disappointed by the unexpected appearance of this creepy head in their newsfeed, there was also a lot of useful information. It turned out that the cursed watcher is the head of a mannequin named Chester, belonging to a YouTube channel called Prank City. In the video, Looking into Bathroom Stalls Toilet Prank, its owner pranks unsuspecting people using the same head from the photo. It's just awful. As for the photo with our creepy mannequin, it was just taken from the thumbnail for the video and basically just a single frame from it. In short, there is no mystery here either, but maybe that's for the best. And again, I ask you to subscribe to my channel if you are interested in such content and would like to see more, as well as leave a comment and watch my other videos. They are also quite interesting, and there are really very few of them. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and that's all for today. Don't get lost, because we'll meet again in a month.